those of you who feel, hands up if you feel that you squeezed through the eye of the needle and came out the other side. Hands up. Hands up, how many? Yes? Okay, but some of you are still squeezing? Have some of you not felt any squeezing? You're not squeezing for me.
She squeezes me all the time.
She can't keep her hands off you. Well, this is kind of where we are now in a staggered situation. As you know, we had this quantum separation in a trine model at the end of last year, as opposed to the dual model they had predicted, which meant that there are parallels now that are running side by side of 3-dimensional Earth, 5th-dimensional Earth, and 7th-dimensional Earth. So wherever you are, not just in your vibration, but wherever you are in the choices and decisions that you've made as to where you want to be and where you want to go, and what you want to do, and how long you want to be here, and all those kinds of things have all come into play now. And we are now, as a collective, in terms of Marconics, we've been given our marching orders as far as the 3rd dimension is concerned. They do not want us there anymore. We were given as much time as we could be allowed there. And the reason for the extent of the opposition we experienced over the last 5 years was because we were there. Do you understand? We were trying to get as many through as we could, and there were many opportunists who were jumping on that bandwagon, who were not sanctioned to go, and there were a lot of beings who were opposing us to prevent those from getting through, and it resulted in a tremendous amount of opposition. I think I said here during one of the classes at the end of last year that what was happening now was the new owners had arrived. We were still packing our shit up. We hadn't left the property. Do you understand? And that kind of conflict of what that might arise from that. And from the February event, we enjoyed as Lisa's going to go into during the course of the weekend when she talks about time and timelines, we spiraled around in terms of a cyclical time, and we struck 3 points simultaneously. One was a 5-year cycle, one was a 3-year cycle, and one was a 1-year cycle, and that is typical. But when that happens, you have access to points that occurred at that time 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year ago. And it gave us one last hurrah in terms of being able to access those points. We went right back to the angelic wars, to the evacuations. We went all the way, didn't we, girls? Oh, yeah! Yeah! And we caught those people that we couldn't get 5 years ago, or 3 years ago, or a year ago, that wanted to come, that got stuck and couldn't come through. We got them then, all right? But then the gates closed. Do you understand? And we are not allowed back there. We're not welcome in any shape or form. We can be observers now of 3D, but we can't participate in 3D. Okay? So it has changed everything. It has changed everything, because we were working in physicality by the laws of 3-dimensional physics. Do you understand? By the construct of the 3D under the crystalline grid, of that realities, of that projected realities, reality, all the laws that bound it. Once we were locked out, we find ourselves either in the 4D corridor between 3rd and 5th, or in 5th. Those are the options that you have likely got currently if you are still in your physical form. I just want to clarify that the guardians in the room, you know that we have placed our consciousness far, far beyond that, yes? We exited the grid, we've touched on the highest dimensional spaces, some 444, but we chose to re-enter the grid to be of assistance to others. We made it to 144, but with our consciousness, yes? Now we're coming back, we're starting to make that progression with the physical body. And back in 2016, we were told that would be impossible. In 2016, we were told when we had hit that point of the galactic war in 2016. That fifth dimension was out of reach now because it was in the process of a galactic war. That we would need to get to ninth dimension to be able to complete that ascension, and we were not going to make it. The physical body could not make the ninth dimension, yes? During the February class, we anchored 9th and 11th, right? And we're all still here, or maybe we're not, who knows? Maybe we finally disappeared of our own orifice, and this is a dream. We'll see. And then, on the day the night that I got back from the Falmouth event, I anchored 30.
What?
I anchored 30.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So we are out of the grid. Do you understand? We are out of the grid. Now, some of you are, now we're going to be making that that physical journey. Yes? Yes. Okay. And okay, so this weekend, this is kind of, I want you to explain that. It's Guardian level really, and it's the stuff that we'll go into more in the Guardians. I want you to explain that so that you can understand, some of you, the depth of discomfort, sorry darling, that can result in, all right? That if you are having experiences, emotional, physical, or mental, that are literally pushing you to the limits, you should still know that is okay. All right? You should still know that is okay. And your dreams are probably going to reveal some of the next steps to you. You're probably having a sense of what is actually occurring right now in your dreams, yes? And you can know that you're all signed in, all right? All your names are known. You are advanced in terms of this process, and you do yourself a big service, releasing any doubts or any fears that you have as to whether you are worthy or unworthy. That is going to stand in your way. Do you understand? Yes? We are being gently handled and well cared for at this point. We are small in number, and therefore we are precious in this experience. Okay? If you find that the experiences that you're having are beyond anything that you can cope with alone, then you check in and you let us know the severity, of what is going on for you. We can assure you, we've been there. We've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. There isn't anything you guys are going to experience that we have not experienced. Okay? And the other thing is that I am aware since February of working with every single one of you, this is not something that is being done in a bulk collective assembly line kind of affair. Each one of you are having problems, issues, which relate specifically to your own biological vehicle because of the rigors that it has undergone during this lifetime, and because of your DNA and your family and all of this kind of stuff, of your location, of your choices you've made with regards to diet and environment. And so there are sticking points for each of you, and seeing you up there while we are addressing those. Okay? All right. It does require that you make another level of choices and decisions in terms of how you take care of yourself, how you preserve your field, how you stand in your integrity. Yes? All right. Do we have a...
Give it a shot.